Hi everybody and happy Thursday. I hope you're going to hear feedback it sounds like again. I don't know why it's doing that. I have my mic turned off. Let's see. All right. Well, the mic seems to be turned off. So tonight we're going to be working on these two cards. I just wanted to you know what? I'm going to get rid of this. Sorry. Okay. That's better. Now I'm not echoing. Um, hey Debbie, how are you? Hey Do. Uh, Today I finally decided on these two cards, and they're products from the new catalog. Um, the Encircled in Friendship or Encircled in Beauty dies for the Encircled in Friendship stamp set can be used for the new Encircled in Warmth. So they're just round sentiments that will fit inside the dies. So and this is actually, I tried to case, um, did it up a little bit more from the catalog. And then this one, it's a little shaker dome. Now you'll have to forgive me because I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's classic cloche. Hi, Anna. Welcome. And this has the die for the dome, so you can make your shaker cards. And then it has the little village, and then it also has stamps for the birds. And I have to tell you, I hope you all need a good laugh for today, because the way my day went, I got up at 6, normal time during the day, came in the craft room at 6:30. By 10:30, my desk was a mess. I had not created one card. I could not come up with something that was just simple, even though there's a lot on here. These are pretty simple cards. I was going to do it in red and gold, which is really pretty. And this paper is let me just get it right, the Simply Elegant paper. And I actually blended red onto the background. Hey, Peggy, how are you? And it's pretty. I like it. Um, I just couldn't come up with another gold and red card. I mean, I even cut out all the paper because we could do it just in the gold and white. That would be pretty too, with this on top. But I wasn't happy with it. So by 10:30, I decided it was time for me to go outside and make my husband breakfast. Well, I ended up burning the toast, broke the yolks in his eggs, came back into the craft room about 11:30. By 1:30, I had these two cards finished. So it took hours for these two cards. Started to go to make my blog post, and GoDaddy was down. So I couldn't even do my blog post when my cards were done. Finally caught up with the day and got ready for tonight. And ran the brush through my hair and actually broke my hairbrush. So that was my day from start. Hi, Dorothy. How are you? What is your show? This one? Thank you. So hopefully, I'm warning you now, hopefully tonight will go smooth and I don't have any disasters in front of everybody. So let's get started. If you'd like these make and takes, just place a $35 order, and that shouldn't be the 18th. I didn't even change my banner. Today's the 22nd, so it's by the 25th. And you'll receive a swag bag, these make and takes, and also I have the 15 tutorial PDF for the Sweet Peaches this month. So just so you know. Okay, so let's get started. Now the card base is the smoky slate, and the paper is, let me see if I have it right here. It's called Peaceful Place. Now this paper is absolutely gorgeous. It's silver, grays, and blacks, and that is the whole set. It is just magnificent. I'm actually going to do my craft box for August is going to be done with this set, and it's actually going to be a decorative item, and thinking that we all have those family and friends that are hard to buy for, so I figured I would do a gift this time so we can all get a head start on Christmas. So it's 11 by 4¼ and it's scored at 5.5. And like I said, this is the smoky slate. The PDF for this will be in the room tomorrow. And then I'm going to add a layer of the smoky slate. And this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So you don't really have to, isn't it pretty? Hi, Sheila. So you don't have to keep track of the measurements. I'll have them in the PDF for you tomorrow. So we're going to just layer this on the front of the card. And we're starting with this card because it is a little easier than the other card. And then I'm just going to add, I have a layer of the basic white, which should be 5 1/4 by 4, and it is. Whoops. Before we do that, let me just take that glue off for a second. I'm going to lay it on this pad so it doesn't stick. I want to actually glue the designer series paper down because I want to pop this layer up. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm just going to adhere this to the white layer. I just wanted to add just a little color to brighten up this layer. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Did you get a chance to work on your craft box today? I think everybody should have gotten them by now, I'm hoping. Let me grab some dimensionals here. So before I pop this up, I am going to grab the ribbon. Now this ribbon is going to be new in the mini catalog also. And it is it's glittered, the white glitter. It's like the black glitter that we have. This one here. The Organdy black that we have, but it's in white. It's really very pretty. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little shimmery. And all I want to do is cut a piece so it looks like this snowflake is hanging. So I'm just going to cut a little piece. I'm going to grab a glue dot. Oh, doctor appointment. We did that yesterday. I think that's why I'm so discombobulated today, if that's even a word. We had another appointment, and I learned their trick and changed our appointment because I think once they schedule you on a day, they keep you on that day each time. And Thursdays are just not good. I mean, it's so hard to try to get ready and then go to the doctor too. So we had a hematology appointment. For some reason, my husband now is not producing any platelets, and they're a little concerned. So now, what does that mean? It just means more doctor's appointments and blood work once a month. So it's just another thing that I have to schedule in, unfortunately. So hopefully we'll find out what's going on. The doctor was awesome. We go to the Veterans Hospital um, in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, and it really is amazing. I really do like it. The people are nice. They're friendly. It's so I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful hospital. So hopefully we'll be okay. Okay, so I just want to layer this, and that doesn't even look like it's centered that well. And we're going to pop this piece up right on the front of the card, making sure it is layered on here even, which it doesn't look like it. Just want to shift it a little bit. Okay. So there's the base of our card. Then, excuse me, I die cut the Encircled in Beauty dies. One in the basic white, the larger one, and then a smaller one that I can emboss the Let It Snow. This is the larger of the dies, and this piece is solid. You really can't tell. That's why I did it this way for the second one. But I did end up cutting the second die out of the center because we will not see this once everything is layered. You'll never know. So instead of wasting a whole sheet or a whole piece, die cut piece, I ended up cutting this out to save on some of the paper. So I'm just going to take my white. No, I'm not. I'm going to take this silver one. I just want to see if and we're going to take the white piece and we're going to glue this down. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just put just dots of glue, not too much, all the way around this frame. So that's why I explained to you what my day was like. So goodness gracious, if I make a mistake or really bungle it, you'll know why. All right, let's just grab this. So I'm going to lay this down, and I want to get these little triangles or these little pieces that are sticking out. Hi, Sonia. Thanks, Elizabeth. And I want to make sure that they're seen through. So it's just, you just have to move it around a little. But I want them to show through because this white layer really does cover everything up pretty much. You just want to go around and make sure that it's pretty even. So you want to, move it around, make sure it's on there even. The glue's just going to take a couple of minutes to dry. So while that's drying, Now this piece, I believe I also popped it up. But since I cut out the center and I'm going to pop up this layer, I have to put 2 layers of dimensionals on this piece. So it is higher than that first layer. So let's just add these dimensionals while that's drying. So it was adventurous today. Okay, let's see. That looks like it's dry. So let's just add some dimensionals to this. And we're going to pop this up onto the front of the card. Using lots of dimensionals tonight. My hair seems to be falling out. Okay. So we'll pull the card back in. We're just going to get rid of these papers. I'm just going to layer this on the front of the card. And the way I'm layering it, I'm just getting one of the points to point towards the top of the card. And I just want to make sure it is about equal space on each side. And then just lay that down. And then we have our silver layer again. So we're going silver, white, silver. Let me put another layer right here. And we're just going to pop this right into the center. And like I said, I'm using the 2 layers because, oops, this layer is up on 1 and I want this to pop up a little bit more. So I put it up on 2. And again, I just want to make sure it's centered before I push it down. Just going to pull this over a tad. And then we have that layer there. And then we're going to take the smallest one and we're going to grab our Let It Snow and some Versamark. And let's grab our embossing powder. And we're going to stamp our Let It Snow. Let's see. Hopefully. Oh, that looks good. I don't put those little stickers on the back of my stamps. I probably should. Does anybody else use those stickers? Hey, Peggy. Yeah. These things for celebration are so cute. Here's one of the... Let's see if I can grab it quick. Here's one of the free sets called Counting Sheep, which is really cute with a $50 order that's free. And then if you, with another $50 order, this time, believe it or not, this stamp set has the matching dies. So that's really exciting. And that's why I'm hoping that the Dahlia set, I'm hoping that in the next celebration or the next catalog, they have the dies to those dahlias. Okay, let's see. I got just a little bit of embossing powder. And I'm just going to quick emboss this. Try to keep it away from the mic as much as I can. Ooh. Okay. So then we have our Let It Snow. We'll let that cool for a second. And while we're waiting for it to cool, Let's tie a quick bow. This ribbon is really pretty. I like the black glittery ribbon, and this white one really is nice. Ties really nice. Make sure our loops are the right way and that they're even. Oh, the encircled in beauty dyes, they are beautiful. They can go with so many different things. And like I said, I'm just very excited that they have this Christmas set encircled in warmth to go with them. So that's really exciting. Okay, so now this is cool. Let's grab some dimensionals again. And we're going to pop this up on the front of the card. Close my Versamark up. And we're just going to center this into on the card. Hopefully that's centered. Looks like it's off. And then let's grab a glue dot. I'm going to actually just stick this right here at the top. So it looks like this snowflake is hanging from that ribbon. Oops. Look, that side of the bow wants to curl on me. Just going to stick another glue dot under there to hold it down. For some reason, it's at a kilter. There we go. That's better. Okay. And then what I did was grab these, go to that Peaceful Place, and it's subtle shimmer sequins. Somebody is sending me a message. Amanda. Oh. And you really can't see them on the card very well, but they're there. There's about 4 of them. And I'm just going to stick them randomly on the front of the card. I mean, if nobody notices them, you know they're there. And these little sequins, they're silver, and there's a few white ones. And we're just going to pop these onto the front of the card. There's shiny silver. There's like a dull silver. There's little teeny tiny ones. And then there's white. These are really pretty. Okay, let's do one more. Stick it over here. Okay. Now for the inside of the card, I kept it simple. I just put one little strip, and let me just pull that little strip out of my container here. And grab my layers. So I'm going to use a layer of the slate, smoky slate, and I'm going to close these sequins because you know what'll happen. It's one of those days. And then I have the basic white, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. And all I'm going to do is add this little slim strip of the Designer Series paper to the top. Just like that. I'm going to have to turn my phone off, so make sure it's on here even. And then I'm going to glue it to this layer, and then I'm going to use the twine that came with this Simply Elegant set suite, because it came in silver and gold, and it's the Simply Elegant twine. And I'm just going to wrap a piece of twine. And this actually, it's called trim. I would think it's like cord, and it is a little bit on the thick side. As she starts moving when you watch the videos, it's almost bedtime. Tell her it's almost time for bed. She better like my voice. And I usually don't tie this in a knot because, like I said, the cord is a little thicker, but it is so difficult to keep the cord taut when you're tying the bow that it just makes it a little bit easier when there is a knot. So we're just going to tie a quick bow, and it's still not even a quick bow. I hate tying bows this way. Okay, so we're just going to hold that knot, pull our little tails to keep it straight, give it a little trim, and then we're going to glue this into the center of our card. Now I like to put glue on each side of the cord because it's a little bit thick when we want to lay this into the card. So we're just going to hold that down for a second. And there's card number 1. Quick and easy. I tried to think of quick and easy cards for Christmas because those of us who have to make a lot of Christmas cards, you don't really want a lot of detail unless you have someone special that you'd like to create for. So there's card number 1. Card number 2, let me just pull my little cut and emboss machine. Ah, that's what else happened today. When I was cutting I need new cutting boards for my embossing machine. And I must have cut out this white layer 8 times, and I could not get the pieces out. I mean, it was just one of those days. That's why, like I said, I warned you in the beginning. It was a bad day. Okay, so for this card, we're going to use one of the little domes, and they come in a pack of 10. And I crushed my box. But they come just like the other little domes, oval domes or round domes that we have. Has adhesive on the top and on the bottom. And then again, we're going to use, and it's Cloche, I believe, classic Cloche. And that's the little scene in the back of the card. And this little piece comes with it too. And then what I did on the inside, I just added the Let It Snow since we had a shaker card. So we have a 5.5 by 8.5, and this one scored at 4 1/4. Now for the front of this card, we're going to layer it again with this slate gray, smoky slate. Oh, look at that. Did I forget to cut? No, it didn't. I was going to say it would be my luck. And then I'm going to layer it with one of the with the DSP that matches the other card. And this time I'm not going to pop up. I am just going to leave the layers and just adhere them, because I figured the dome adds so much dimension to this card. And I believe when it comes to mailing it, you'd probably have to put it in a padded envelope or a little tiny box. And it would probably ship as a package, just so you know. So this would have to be one of those cards that you hand to the recipient. You wouldn't be able to give this to someone that you'd have to mail to. I've never mailed one. Hey, Karen. It seems to be okay on this end. And I have no internet running in the house other than, hey, Sue. I have nothing on in my house today other than this computer. So I'm not sure where the buffering's coming from. Okay, so then I have two little layers of the smoky slate and the new silver paper. This new silver pack, the silver actually, this looks more like a, I don't even know, a bluish silver and black. And then one, and the color and the lighting is terrible, like almost purple or lavender. And then this silver, and it actually has like a green to it. But this is 4 1/8 by 2 7/8, and then we're going to layer the silver right on top. And this is 2 3/4 by 4. And again, I'm going to adhere it with glue, so I have a second to move it around to make sure it's in the right place. It gives me a little extra time, because this layer I want to pop up. So now that that's laid like that, let's pop this up. So we use more dimensionals. And we're just going to layer this down better now. Hey, Brenda, how are you, honey? Better late than never, my dear. And then we're just going to pop this up onto the front of the card. Just like that. Okay. Now for the top layer, for the dome, I'm going to do this before I start stamping. But I'm going to use the small little cotton emboss machine. I'm just going to pull the die out real quick. Here's the die that we're going to cut for the dome. And I just want to make sure I have the correct setup here, because I don't really use this that often, but I figured it was perfect for this tonight. And what we need to do, excuse me, you'll notice I have it probably about a half an inch, half an inch from the top of the DSP. And we just have to lay this down, making sure it's straight and even. Just pull it over. The more I touch it, the more I'm making a mess of it, right? I'm just gonna want to scoot that over tear. Okay. And then we're just going to very carefully lay that down. And we want to cut this out. Just like that. And that's not bad. Now this little centerpiece I don't need. So we're just going to lay that aside. And we're going to take our dome. And we're going to peel off. Whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. I peeled the glue right off. Look at that. Okay, so we can peel that paper off the front, and then we're going to take this piece we just die cut, and we're going to lay it right over the dome. And I just want to make sure I get this pretty straight. And then we're just going to lay this down, make sure that it adheres. And I wanted to do that to show you that this piece of DSP is a little bit tinier than the dome itself. So I just need to cut these little corners off the dome, just like that. And I think it's in just a tad crooked. We'll see. Okay, so now that we have that layer, let's pull out some white paper. And I am going to pull out my stamps. Let's see what I did with them. Here it is. And I'm using Smoky Slate. And the little village actually has 3 different stamps. It has the stamp to color in the houses. It has a stamp with the trees and the outline of the houses. And then it has the background. So you could actually use this as a summer view and get the trees actually green. So what I'm going to do is just want to see, I want to get this so it's just a tad bit smaller. So let me just grab my pencil. And I just want to mark this a little bit so I can see my marks here and here. I'm going to cut this down a little smaller when it's time to put this on the back. Because what we need to do is stamp on this piece. And I'm just going to mark where the bottom of the dome is. So I know I did have, let's see if I still have it, a little piece. Yes, I do. I have a little piece of a snow that's going to go with the bottom. You can see here it's just popped up on the bottom. So I want to make sure that I have it marked off so I know that's where the snow is going to go. And I'm going to grab the outline piece to this houses. I just want to make sure. And we're going to stamp that down. So there's the little village. And then I took some balmy blue. And the balmy blue is very, very dark. So I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper. And I probably should be on my foam pad. Let's pull that in quick. And we're going to get the background stamp. Just make sure. And I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it off because see how dark that is? I don't really want it that dark. And I just want a hint. So I'm going to line this up, and you can see it has the little windows, it has the doors, it has the roof. And we're just going to stamp this, and it gives you even the sky behind the trees. So we're going to put that away, and we're going to pull out the red. Again, the red is very, very bold. So I inked the stamp up really good, and I stamped off, and then I stamped off again, and again. You have to line up all these little areas, your windows and doors, and stamp it down to color in all your houses. And I just wanted a hint of color. I didn't really want it dark. So now that we have our little houses painted and the sky, I'm going to grab my light Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to add a little yellow to my windows so it looks like somebody is home. Okay? Now that we have that, I grabbed some shimmery crystal effects, and I'm going to do this now, and we're just going to add it to the rooftops. And I don't want to put it too thick right now because it has to take a couple minutes to dry. I just want to add some to the roof, so this way it looks a little shiny. It looks like they're snow covered and it's glistening in the sun. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this little piece of snow. Now this is a die also from the set. I haven't even taken them all apart yet, but it comes with the little snow. We have this piece right here that I cut in silver. All these little trees, the branches, and two little birds. It's really a cute little set. But I'm just going to grab these shimmery effects, and we're just going to add some to the snow. We're just going to make it just so it glimmers. You're not going to be able to really tell all that much, but you'll know it's there. And I'm just going to scoot that off, and I'm just going to quick cut this down. So hopefully it works and fits properly. I don't want to. All right, I got it cut down just a little. I know I'm going to have to cut it down more, but I don't want to press while that's drying. So let's just put that aside for a second. And I'm going to pull the inside of the card while that's drying. All I did was stamp the Let It Snow in the corner. So let's just grab that Versamark and open up our embossing powder. Yeah, it is a cute stamp. I like the birds. I can't wait to try the birds. They're cute too. And I'm just gonna put the Let It Snow right here in the corner. Add some embossing powder. And then quick emboss. I have my embossing gun under my table. Trying to, it doesn't sound like a jet engine. Okay, that looks pretty good. Put that aside because we're done with that. Give this a second to cool. I'm going to work backwards. I'm just going to quick create my bow while that glue is drying. I didn't even think. Let me just quick get this ink off my finger. Hey Margaret, how are you, honey? Okay, let's make a quick bow while everything is drying and everything is cooling. I didn't want to prepare too many things, but like I said, I know, sometimes things, they take just a little bit longer. Okay, this bow looks better than the last one. Let's just make sure my little... Okay, that looks good. So that's ready. So let's glue this down and to the inside of the card. And then I should be able to get that dome layer together. Nothing like working all the way around, right? Now the card stock is a little warped from the heat. So you'll probably have to just hold that section for a second so it lays flat. We'll pull our card in and we're just going to adhere this to the center of the card. Now, like I said in the beginning, if you're not so much a silver person, everybody has their preference when it comes to silver and gold and Christmas time. I did do it in red and gold. And this is the Simply Elegant paper that I just blended with our blending brush and kept layering it. And then again, the bow, the camera doesn't do it justice, but it's a, I think it's cherry cobbler, I want to say. Yep, cherry cobbler in gold. And it is simply lovely. It's a very, very pretty ribbon. Yeah, the gold is really nice. I like the gold too. It would probably be really pretty in a nice dark green too. Okay, so now we have the inside of the card. We have this layer. Let's grab our dome again. And we are going to make sure that this is not going to show through. So we're just going to line this up. Wow, that looks crooked. And we're going to trim this off. Let's grab the little trimmer. Again, hopefully this is dry. It's a little tacky still, so I won't hold it down. I'll just cut that off like that. And then I'm just going to cut off a little on the bottom because I don't want this to show through that layer. But you want this under there so it closes that dome off, okay? Because this is going to go right on here. It's going to glue down, and you'll see how we have to do that. And then we have our snow, and it's still just a little tacky. But I'm going to grab my dimensionals. I want to just cut a thin strip of the dimensional so we can layer the back of this snow. And I become all thumbs when it's really tiny. Yeah, it's a little bit tacky. So it does take a little time for it to dry. So just so you realize. And I just want to see. We want to make sure this clears the bottom. So we're going to stick it right under that snow line. And that looks okay. Let's see. So I'm just going to line it up. Make sure that it's all lined up well. And that looks okay. So I'm going to just turn this over. This is the worst part, because I'm going to have to hold it over my head to make sure it's in the right spot. So we're just going to add our sequins to the dome. And I purposely added them before taking the sticky off, because it does seem to, the sequins, for some reason, they just love to jump around. And now we're going to take off this paper. Now, since this paper isn't lined up exactly, you just have to eyeball it. And I'm going to just put it over my head for a second, just to get the bottom lined up. Okay. So I got the bottom lined up, and then I can just close it down. And as you can see, I still have a little piece of paper here. So let's just cut that off. Now the dome is closed by this layer, okay? And I'm just going to add some glue. I'm going to put it on the DSP. And then we're going to line this up and center it. And it is off a hair. The dome is off. It's just cocky a little bit. Little cockeyed. Oh well. Let's grab a glue dot. Let's put our ribbon on. Actually added it right here to the top of the dome. I have to say that once the video is done and I can go grab my coffee for the night, I am going to be so glad today is over. Okay, so now we have this little piece, and I don't know what I did with the other piece. It's a little tiny black piece, so it probably is sitting right here. But we're going to take this piece, and I did have a little layer of black that I just don't know what I did with. And I'm going to adhere this. I did pop it up on the other card, but I think I'm just going to glue it on this one to see how that looks without the black. And just adding little touches of glue, hoping that it doesn't squeeze out. And we're just going to put this right along the bottom. Now you're going to have to move it a little bit to make sure it's even. And that looks even. Just like that. And then now we have our inside done. And let's see. Get this out of the way. And the black may look a little nicer. So those are our 2 cards for tonight. And again, just so everybody knows, I will change this to 25 because I still have the contest going on. If you make a $25 purchase, I'll put your name in a drawing for July's craft kit. Thanks, Sheila. And if you do place an order, you'll get these make and takes, the swag bag of goodies, your name in the contest for the July kit, and you'll also receive a 15 tutorials using the sweet peaches. So I hope you liked tonight's cards. I hope everybody has a great rest of the night, and I hope mine is too. And I'll see you on Saturday. We're going to be starting our next album project, and it's going to be a little display case with 4 mini albums. Probably tomorrow. The deadline, Karen, is Sunday night, honey. And I posted most of the paper dimensions. Good night, Margaret. You also. But I think I still need to post the DSP for the display case. So I'll do that tomorrow when I post the PDF. Thanks everybody for joining me. It's always such a pleasure to spend time with everybody on a Thursday, and I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Thank you for stopping in, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye, Brenda. Thank you so much, honey.